Happy National Coming Out Day to everyone. This is October 11th, 2010, and this is my coming out story. I think today is a special day kind of for everybody, whether you're straight, bisexual, lesbian, transgendered, queer, gay, no matter who or what you are. This is a special day because it's a day where everybody can come out for love. No matter how you feel or what you think, everybody has a right to love, no matter who they are. They have a right to love whoever they want. And I think that's what today signifies. When I first came out, I was dating this girl, and I can't tell the story because unfortunately the person who's taking this video is my now girlfriend, and so I'm not going to start off that way. But basically, when I first came out, I was trying to talk to someone on the phone, and I didn't have phone privileges at that time, and so I decided, hey, maybe if I come out and tell them who I'm trying to talk to, maybe they'll let me talk on the phone. What was I thinking? The first people I told were my sisters, my two little sisters, and I was like, hey guys, hey, I gotta tell you something. And so I said, I'm gay. And the first thing out of their mouths were, why did you tell me that? I did not need to know that. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I went to my parents' room, and I stood outside their door for about 5 to 10 minutes just thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to say this? What are they going to say? How are they going to act? My mom had a gay student in her class, and she never seemed to have a problem with it. So I thought, okay, hey, she's not going to have a problem with me. So go into their room, and I'm like, Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. I say, I'm gay. And it's quiet for 5 minutes, and I'm thinking, what should I do? And I'm just sitting there smiling, and I'm like, what should I do? And so finally I'm like, okay, they're not saying anything, I'm just going to walk out. And my mom's like, where are you going? This isn't over. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I go back in, another silence, so finally I just walk out. The next day, I get home, and I go to my room, and my mom comes and gets me and says, Felicia, come here. And so I come, and I have my whole family sitting in a circle with my grandparents, and they're like, sit down. I'm like, okay. And I see they have their Bibles in their hands, and I'm thinking, oh wow, this is going to be a great intervention. So they start around the room talking about, how they feel about who I am and what I just told them, and they say things about how they think that what I'm doing is nasty and it's disgusting, and my grandparents start to quote scripture about how God does not like homosexuals and things like that. And I was just kind of feeling like, this is my family, why are they treating me like this? Why are they saying these things? And so I think from that point on, it totally changed my mindset about how I felt about my family. I mean, my mom and I were already distant, and I think me coming out at that time totally distanced us even more. And so, we start to have rough patches. I have a stuttering problem, stop laughing. We start to have rough patches, and I don't get to have a house key any longer. Also, I have to be supervised. I can't, if my parents or someone's not at the house, then I can't be at the house. I have to go out with them. I just can't stay home. And it's like, how are you treating me like this? I've always been what I thought was a good child. I mean, I never did anything wrong. I was home on time. I mean, I wasn't quite sure what I did wrong to have to deserve something like that. And so finally, my mom and I had a falling out, and I just left. It was time for me to leave, and I knew I could not live in that environment any longer. It was not for me. I needed a change. Because I've been where those kids are and where they were this month. I've been there. And I understand the hurt and kind of the betrayal that you feel. And yes, no, I wasn't getting picked on by my peers. But to have to live in that type of environment, that type of household, it just, I don't know, it breaks you. And so I had to leave. And so I went to go live with my girlfriend. And at that time, it was late at night. I call her and say, hey, I'm leaving. I have to leave. I have to go. And I need somewhere to stay. And she's like, just come in, come live with me. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, what is her parents going to say? And so I take a taxi cab over there. It's late at night. I get in. The next day, we don't go to school. We just kind of sit and, I don't know, just kind of bask and try to figure out what's going on. How are we going to handle this? What are we going to do? And so finally, she sits down with her parents and tells them, you know, hey, Felicia's going to stay here for a while. And a while turned out to be a really good while. And I mean, it felt like, because I felt hurt by my own family, to have that kind of open atmosphere, to be able to come in to a family that doesn't even really know me that well, but to be able to be taken in and still treated like a person, like a human being, it was something that I needed at that time. And I felt like I was actually being like loved. And so finally, you know, it's been about 5.5 years since I came out, and I think for the first 4, I will say that I had this complete, I won't say hate, but I really disliked my family to a point where I couldn't even go over there, because the first thing my mom is saying is, are you still dating that girl? Why do you want to live your life this way? Do you go to church? And it's like, just because I'm gay does not mean that I don't recognize who and what God stands for. Just because I'm gay doesn't mean you get to treat me any differently. And it's like, you know, for all those people who are out there right now who within this month has decided to take their life because of the way people are treating them, I tell you, don't. Because it gets better. It gets amazingly better. And when that one person who walks into your life and completely shows you compassion and love, and shows you that, hey, just because this person's treating you this way doesn't mean I'm going to, it completely turns you around. And I think that's what people need right now, is to know that they're not alone, that there are people just like them out there who have gone through the same thing, and they can come and talk to us, and hey, the door's always open. And for them to know that there are other people out in the world like them. I think it's extremely heartbreaking and sad what has happened and occurred in the last month. And I think today is the day that people need to show that compassion, that love, and know that no matter what, we're all the same. We are all the same. We're one nation under God. But for some reason, people don't want to treat us that way. So please, take this time. Come out for something you believe in. No matter what it is. No matter if you're straight, come out. And let the world know that no matter who you are, you can still love who you choose.